Hey, Blitzmolin Fab here. This is Bill. Another little video. I'm on Hood Springs 2.0 Tri-5 Chevy. The springs that I put on that I ordered, you got to be careful, I guess, what you order. It says 1955 passenger car, then it says 1955 through 1957 Chevy GMC truck. So I don't know if they're the same damn hood springs or not, but the last ones I put on, where I made the video about the putting the washers in there and doing that whole bunch of crap, I had to try something different. So I got some springs and they've been sitting on my bench for a couple of days, and I happened to look at my jack handle, and so I'll come over here and show you. If you look at this is a little jack handle for a bottle jack, and if you look at that end, there's just barely anything there, right? It's a thin little piece of pipe. So, and it's powder coated. So anyway, all I did to these springs this time is put the spring in the top. So just put the spring in on this end, and then the spring down there, prop your hood open like as wide as it'll go. I mean, absolutely as wide as it'll go. I actually forced it up a little bit and wedged like a broom handle in there. And so then all I did, is I took this little, the small end of this, and I put it through the spring, put it right underneath this edge. And if you guys can see, down there on the bottom, let me set this thing down before I beat my car and myself to death. If you guys can see, down at the bottom right here, there's just this little tang that hangs out. So all I did is I stuck that bar down in there, and I wore gloves, of course. Put gloves on, be careful. I mean, if the thing pops off or something like that, does something dumb, at least your hands will be protected. So all I did is I took that bar and just pushed it down, you know, like right here. The fender well's in here, so you can't go straight down. But I went to the side, just kind of kept some inward pressure on that pipe so that I didn't slip off the end. And then when I got it down a little ways, I just took my hand and just kind of banged on the spring, and it slid right down and popped into place. So tons easier than that other crap I did. And I got both of them on. The way I took them off is I saw another video, and somebody just took a little piece of chain. So I took a piece of chain and I put one of these little clip links on it, and I put this underneath it, and then I put my hand through this, and I just got underneath it and I just pushed down on it, and it came right out. So this is a real easy, again, wear gloves. This is a real easy way to take them off. And then, like I said, that's how I put them back on. So like I said, prop your hood up, extend it as far as it will absolutely go, and kind of wedge it up that way. But that's definitely a way easier solution. And like I said, right there on that little tiny tab, that end sticks out just enough that you can get a little something on there. And that, you know, that little end of that jack handle turned out just to be the perfect thing. So that's the way I did it. So didn't use the washers this time. Not as sketchy. Like I said, I wore gloves. If it were to pop off or something like that, I wasn't totally worried about it. Kind of kept my hands out of the way and just kind of took a little bit of time to think about what I was doing. Definitely easier than the washer trick. You know, the washer thing, I guess works, but just kind of a pain in the butt. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. Hope everything's going good in your life. Thanks.